Hey viewers, it's Hex here. I was looking through the YouTubes and I was searching for the Vickers Medium MK3 tank review, and there didn't seem to be one up, and I was wondering, hey, why is that? Well, I quickly came to figure out just why it is. It probably has something to do with, well, 9mm of hull armor. And this tank has the worst armor of any tank I've ever seen in my life. I mean, I've seen vehicles that, even the Electo has stronger armor than this, but the thing is about this tank, it's huge, has a lot of hit points, no armor. What else can we think of that has that? Yeah. Anyhow, the Medium Mark III can be considered a good tank if you use it correctly. Now that's the hard part for a lot of people. And as you can see, getting a qualified crew of 75% will be difficult. Personally, I just got this because I wanted to help a few of you guys out with this vehicle because I do not remember it fondly, but it has 6 crew members, the same as, guess what? The TOG. So, what are the strengths and weaknesses of this tank? I would go through where the armor is strong and weak, but there's none. There's none to speak of. So let's just move on from that and go right into it. The Medium Mark III is a huge target. It will be lit up very easily, and if you do not keep it hidden, it will immediately be lit up. If you want to see the research tree, here it is. Of course, I have upgraded it, because I have gone through the Matilda, then the Churchill, then the Churchill 7, then the Black Prince, then the Carnarvon, and I've gotten to the Conqueror, almost at the FE. But that's beside the point. Let's go back to this little tech tree there. Alright, so what we get off the bat if you're using this thing stock is a gun with mediocre penetration, mediocre damage, and a fairly fast rate of fire. It's nothing to write home about, but hey, it'll get you through. The turret seems to be the exact same apart from the view range, which is increased slightly. I never went for the next engine since I just wanted to get to the Matilda as fast as possible, which is pretty understandable. I'm not going to free this thing because I don't care. I don't care. I don't want the radio either. I'm just going to put this up for the sake of you guys. The gun on the way to the Matilda isn't that bad. It's pretty good, in fact. It has a very good rate of fire, fairly good penetration, mediocre damage. But this thing is what you want on it if you're going to use it. It has 70 damage, 57 penetration, 20 for the rate of fire, which means it'll be firing off a shot every 3 seconds, which is nice. Of course, with my crew right now, it'll probably be a little bit more than that, but again, beside the point. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, well, equipment-wise, I wouldn't recommend putting anything on it. I'm pretty much broke right now from buying the RHM and all that stuff, so here's what you might want. Surprisingly enough, you can hide this tank if you do it well enough, so perhaps a camouflage net would work. However, again, I would not recommend it. I will also highly recommend a medium spall liner, as many things will be able to one-hit you. Tank gun rammer, I really don't think you want to go above 100,000 with this vehicle, though, so let's just skip that. For crew skills, you won't bother because unless you are a Medium Mark III fanatic, you're not going to get your crew up that high. This is just one of those tanks you just really want to skip as fast as possible. For consumables, of course, you want the small repair kit, small first aid kit. In this case, you want a fire extinguisher because it has a lot of health. And most tanks, if you set them on fire, then they're doomed off the bat. This thing you can save if you do it well enough. The gun is fairly good. That's what makes the tank playable, and I believe it has a very fast traverse as well. Signal range is garbage, but that's because I have the worst radio. View range is fairly nice. I really don't see anything else to go over with this tank apart from how the HE has. It's not good penetration. I wouldn't use HE ammo. There's not even real gold ammo. There's just, you know, slightly better armor piercing. So without further ado, let's teach you guys how to play this tank. Now, having a good game in the Mark III is very possible, and I'm pretty sure this game should show that quite well. This was a game on Malanovka, I believe, and on it I got 5 kills. Oddly enough, I also got accidentally shot 2 of my teammates, but that was because they made it really hard for me not to hit them. But this was a good game for the tank, and this is, in my opinion, the way you should be playing Medium Mark III as a long-range sniper, oddly enough. So let's forward it a little bit. I almost hit my T-82 teammate right there. So you want to park yourself in a bush like this. And, well, the thing about the gun is that it fires really slowly, and you'll have to rethink how you shoot. Because the projectile itself, it flies at a very slow rate compared to a lot of other guns. Apparently he had left. Now you get a lot of targets if your team can light up on this map, and as is the case with the higher tier Brit heavies, this is kind of a sniper tank, as you will be seeing in this replay. I do not believe I get that kill, no. I will also be showing you this at 16 times speed, just in case you've ever wondered what that would be like. It's pretty cool, I'll show you that. I hit this guy's gun right here. I ended up damaging his gun. Now again, with the projectile speed can be quite a bit of a problem, because you're going to have to readjust the way you think projectile should go. I will be fast forwarding the slower parts of this replay, as it can get kind of monotonous. I do kill this Chiha. No, I don't. Never mind. If I did kill it, I would have gotten Top Gun actually. So let's fast forward a little. Right around here. The sniping games aren't exactly the most exciting. However, this one, well, it's a good way to show you how to play the Medium Mark III, as you will be having your best games while sniping. I can pretty much guarantee it. Let's fast forward a little. So there's nothing over there. You always want to be behind cover, you don't want to be seen, and you want to have a good position. Finding a good position in the Medium Mark III is a very big part of it. This Chiha is a little hard to hit right here, although I do end up killing him later. Let's fast forward. Traverse speed is quite good, and after this game I was able to get the best engine.
Ready to fire. That one didn't go through.
What you should be doing when playing a Medium Mark III is trying to make sure your armor is away from enemy guns, basically. You don't want to be shot in the Medium Mark III. However, sometimes it is very possible you can be shot. And still not even care about it.
Enemy armor is hit.
The gun does do quite a bit of damage for its tier, which is one of the good things about it. I'm not entirely sure why that wasn't hitting this Chiha here,
We didn't even scratch
or
them.
even going through its armor, but the low velocity of the gun is it can be a problem. He's
Enemy
dead.
vehicle destroyed.
Now I remember here, I believe I also got a sniper kill, either that or it was something else. Let me see. Let's fast forward a little, as I believe the action doesn't take place for a little bit. This tank can go quite fast when it wants to, which is nice. As, well, if your team, this isn't one of the tanks where if your team is doing really well, it'll be like lost in the battle. That won't happen in this, which is very good. I really appreciate that. However, what you should be doing when playing the Medium Mark III is not being shot, and if you are being shot, make sure you are able to hit what is shooting at you, as you will sometimes be able to out-DPM your enemy.
Got him.
Firing on the move with this tank is also very good, and that is where I shot my teammate.
Enemy armor is damaged. Enemy armor is hit.
I get a lucky shot here, after it disappears off the radar. And he's dead.
Got him.
The M2 Light eventually does decide to come back. And then I shoot my teammate again. I don't hit him there. Yeah, he was kind of making it hard for me not to hit him, which is unfortunate. That Panzer IVA wasn't really
Enemy is hit.
making it easy. They all seem to bum rush the last guy, and that ended up making me get a high damage roll on my own teammate, and so there's the result. Now Hex, why in the hell are you showing us this game? This game comprised mainly of tier 5s and 4s. Well, that's a good question. Sometimes when you're put in games so horribly bad as these, you just can't find it in yourself to care. You just don't care. However, when you don't care, sometimes that works out for you. And this tank, its high damage can be of use, and if you have the right circumstances, you can still make a minute difference. And I ended up winning this game. So let's speed up a lot until we get to the part where it gets interesting, or as interesting as it can get. There you see, I hit the T-49 at the top of this tank, and yet it bounces. And you must watch out for Panzer 1Cs, or else these things will murder you. They will tear you apart. If a Panzer 1C sees a medium Mark III, they will think, ooh, feeding time. And that's pretty much what it is. Now, I do get one more shot off on this T-49 right here. And I'm lucky that he doesn't hit me with that shot right there. Nothing else much happens in this game, but I think it's a pretty big feat just to get those 2 shots off. Now I look at this Churchill and I'm thinking, oh, I'll never be able to penetrate him. And so I'm trying to find a very flat area to shoot at when...
We're done for. Everyone get out.
Yeah. When playing the Mark III, keep in mind, please keep in mind, the gun will troll you. The gun says it's accurate, and it is accurate. However, it misses at the weirdest, strangest times, and it hits at the weirdest, strangest times. And I'm pretty sure this replay pretty much will show you that in a nutshell. What happens in this replay is pretty much what sums up... Oh, sorry about that. I oddly crashed my desktop. Anyhow, what happens in this replay basically shows you everything you can expect when playing the Mark III. You can expect to be sniping a lot, as is shown here, and you can expect to miss a lot at the weirdest times. Even when it's fully aimed on a target, it refuses to hit, and the hardest part is being able to hit when the shell flies so slow. It's like a howitzer, except for it's not a howitzer. Like, the gun is good. It's a fairly decent gun. It's a decent gun. However, it's so weird. It's such a weird gun. It fires so strangely. And here's where I said it will troll you. I blindly and I set him on fire. I don't know how that happened. It just trolled me out of nowhere. And speaking of trolling me out of nowhere, this game pretty much sealed the nail on the coffin for the Mark III for me. It summed up what I felt when I first played this tank and why I went through it as quick as I did. Let's fast forward to the part where it was at. Any moment now. Now, of course, I'm the only one on this side of the map while my entire team is lemming training down the middle and dying. But that's not the problem. I really wasn't expecting much out of this game. However, here, I did hit the cruiser, which is nice. Then a wild Panzer 1C appears, and look what it does to this tank. I don't think it has enough ammo in its clip to just completely destroy you, and if it does, this thing's engine gets damaged so easy. And watch, that made me angry. That made me very angry, if I do say so myself. It's just such a troll tank. Getting through it is difficult and hard, and it's an arduous journey. So to sum up the Mark III Vickers Medium, I'm just going to say it this way. The gun is weird, it will troll you, it has a very strange velocity coming out of the barrel. How would you want to play to get through this tank? To get to the... let me see here, how much? 3,900. experience it takes to get to the Matilda, which is a good tank. It's a very good tank, in fact. Well worth it. I'd say the best way to go would be, I'd say get turret, this. I played it, this thing, then went on this line. Don't bother with the radio. Don't bother with the engine unless it doesn't carry over. Don't bother with the engine. Don't maybe you should bother with the tracks. I don't remember if you can even fit stuff with the tracks, but that doesn't matter. To summarize this tank, you want to get rid of it as fast as possible. With this crew members, you'll end up dismissing them anyways. It's not a good tank, I would say. It can be a good tank, but it's very situational, which is the problem with it. The gun trolls you. It has no armor to speak of. It's a huge target. It has a lot of hit. What I can say, it has a lot of hit points. That's all you're going to expect from it. It has a lot of hit points, which is nice. However, it's only 30 more hit points than, for example, the T-127, which is a very good, well-armored tank with sloped armor. If you angle it the correct way, it does well. However, with the Medium Mark III, you just don't get that. It gets a little bit more damage, maybe a better view range, but the lack of armor really hurts. It's one of the least armored vehicles in the game. Getting through it is a pain, and I've seen a lot of people quit because of this tank. It's one of those troll tanks, basically. One siege will decimate it. However, if you can play correctly, it can be good. It can be a fun tank to play, in fact. I've had surprisingly a good amount of fun playing it. So, to summarize, get through it as fast as possible. It's just such an awkward tank. The gun is good. The gun is pretty decent. It trolls you though, so keep that in mind. But when you get those tier 5 games, it really hurts. The matchmaking really seems to hit this tank hard. But don't give up. Don't give up on this tank, as it will lead to very good things. Very good things. So, with that said, see you next time. As a grade with this tank, I would give this tank a sniping support role at most, or a gamble role. It's either close range or long range, make your choice. However, get through it as I said before, like a million times, get through it as fast as possible, get the Matilda. And without further ado, I'll see you next time. I'm Hex. See you later.